Hey everybody, I have lots of cards to share tonight for Saturday morning makes and some of the fun hashtags and themes everyone is working on. The For the Love of Snowmen hashtag and the Two Crafters One Design themes, and just some vintage Valentine kind of inspired cards. And so I have been posting just pictures of them as I've created on Jana's website on Facebook, the Sat Morn Makes, and Today Too website. I've posted pictures, but I needed to catch up with a video to kind of show y'all some of the stuff that I have used to make them. So these are what I'm gonna kind of show y'all real quick, some of the products I used, and if there's anything kind of different that I did to share. So there's the Valentine's cards, kind of girl themed, and then a few snowmen. So I'm going to get right into showing y'all everything, because since there's quite a few to go through, this one might be a little bit longer video than usual to kind of catch me back up. So let's jump in. These are the sort of vintage Valentine themes cards that I created. And y'all know I love doing things with pastels and pinks. And so I had a lot of fun using all the different pink papers and just kind of vintage colored papers in these. So this is a little card. It has the rag doll on it by Poole by Creative Expressions Die. And then it has a definition of love, and then just some hearts and some washi tape on it that I'll show y'all too. And so each one is a little bit different, but they're all kind of similar, all the kind of similar color palette and the same elements. I just glued them in different places to give a variety. And this one I used a friendship stamp instead of love. And so she has a little heart pocket, and each one has a different word in it. This one says memories. This one says forever. And let's see, this one I think says friendship. And this one says lovely. And I just did some little words cut out for True Heart on this one. So these are my little vintage Valentine cards. So I wanted to show y'all those, and I wanted to show y'all the die that I used. This one is by Creative Expressions, and it is a Poole design, which I just love her stuff. And it is the Rustic Homestead Stitch doll, and it comes with the doll, her dress, her little apron, 2 different size hearts, the buttons, and her hair. And actually I think it comes with the bows too, but they're not shown on the front. Let's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, it has little bows too that I use for her hair. So those are included as well. So I used that for the doll. And I just cut her out of some light brown craft stock for all of them, and different pattern papers, and just cut a different bunch of different colors and just mixed and matched them, and then used some different little ribbon trims I had to coordinate, some different color laces and some pom-poms. I just thought this was fun. This one has some rickrack on it. So for her hair though, this is what I wanted to share with y'all. On this, it has just some one kind of hair that's just kind of a very flat dimensional hair, and I wanted to give her a little bit of texture. So I got this skein of yarn from Hobby Lobby. It was $2.99, and it's the kind of yarn that changes colors, like gradiates to different colors. And it was all earth tones and, to me, hair colors. And so this is the only skein of yarn I used to get all the different hair colors. And so I love this little skein because of that. And I just cut different colors, and I'll show y'all what I did. I just cut little sections, and I tied a little knot. Just one little knot, and I folded it. Let's see. Grab some scissors, and then after I tied the knot, I just trimmed it down to a little like a little twig, sort of. And I did 5 of these for each one and just glued them on top, going around her head. So that's how I did her hair. And that, I just thought that was a fun little twist to use with this die, because it added to me a little bit more of a rustic vibe to it, and different hair colors, and then added a little bit of different texture and pop of interest to the card. So I wanted to share that. So that's how I did her hair. And then most of the paper, y'all, I usually buy one of these every year from Hobby Lobby. This pad they bring back every year, and it's vintage Valentine, and most of the paper for her dresses and the hearts came out of this. And it has just really old, kind of antique-y Valentine vibes to it. So I used that for just about all of it. And this particular piece that's in here, I liked because it has the different sayings on it for Valentine's. And I just cut this in strips. And that's what I glued around the card on each one. And just kind of glued them in different places. So I wanted to show that. So that was the paper, and that was the main die. For the hearts that I used, I love this set. It's by Honeybee. It comes with 10 different size scalloped hearts. I don't know if it has a number on it. If it has a number on it, I will put it in the description of this video. But I used this, and I use this in most of today's creations. It has so many sizes. That's what I love about it. And I just cut hearts out of some of the same paper and glued around, distressed them with a little bit of ink. And that's the hearts that I used for these. So I wanted to share that. And then let's see, y'all. For the definitions, I have this stamp set that it's by Hampton Arts. I think I purchased it at Hobby Lobby. It has a love definition and a friendship definition. So I stamped these on some old book paper, and that's what I glued on. Some of them say friendship, and then some of them have the love definition on it. So I wanted to share that. I don't know if this has a name. I don't think this one has a name, but it's a Hampton Arts clear stamp set. And then for the teeny tiny words that are in her pocket, like this one says beautiful. Y'all, I use this stamp set all the time. Let me find it. I think it's been around for a while, but as far as I know, Joanne still makes it, but it is by Park Lane, and it's from Joanne, and it has tons of tiny little words in it, and they're in cursives, which I just love. And so all the words for the pockets came from this stamp set. So I wanted to share that. And again, I just stamped those in old book paper. Now I will show y'all that for this, I used the VersaFine pine cone because it does detailed really, really well. And to me, when you're using some of the fine lettering, you need a very detailed ink. And so I used that. And so it wouldn't be so dark. I stamped it off once before I stamped it on to kind of give a lighter, more aged brown, and then just rub some pink on it to distress it a little bit. So I wanted to mention that. And then I wanted to show this too. I don't use a lot of washi tape, but sometimes I love the print so much I buy it. And I love to do this on my cards. I love to take a little bit of washi tape and wrap a corner. And so sometime back before Christmas, I found these in Hobby Lobby. And this one is an old pink toile print. And I just love that. And this is just a pink gingham. And so that is what I use just around the edge of this card to give it, you know, just a little bit of interest and a little bit of vintage. And I just wrapped it, y'all, once on the back and then on the inside. And it just, I don't know, it's just a little different touch and a way to use your washi tape that's a little bit different. And there's the gingham that I used. And the same thing on that. Y'all can see I just wrapped it around. And so when you open your card, I think it's still pretty on the inside to have that too. So I wanted to show that. So that is this one, and that's all I use, y'all. Y'all know I don't like using a bunch of different elements in cards because I get overwhelmed. So that is what I used for this. So let me stack these up so I can show you the next thing that I used. So I did this one again with a little bit of a spring and a little bit of a vintage sort of Valentine's feel, but just also a spring feel to it. This is a card that, let's see, I created, and it's with an old wood rubber stamp, and it's this stamp. And y'all, I think this is an Inky Antics. I've had it forever. And it's not marked, but I believe that's what this is. And it's a little girl and her teddy bear and a duck with binoculars. I just think that's so cute. In a little rowboat. And so it just kind of gives me like a Claude Monet or a old English garden vibe. And I just love this stamp. I've used it so many times through the years. So that is the stamp that I used for this. Let me put some cards down since I know it's got ink on at the back of it. Don't want to ink my paper. So let's put that there. Okay, and so part of this I did paper piece. So like I paper pieced the boat and like the pillow and our dress. But some of this I just watercolored and alcohol markered as well. So it's kind of a mix between just classic vintage rubber stamping and using some paper piecing. And then the other thing I did, I think this is supposed to be daisies, but I wanted it to have hydrangeas because I just love hydrangeas. So I just used some purple liquid pearls over it and kind of layered it up to make it look like a pot of hydrangeas instead, and cut some little green leaves. So don't be afraid to alter your stamps just a little to change your design. Just something that maybe speaks to you a little bit more or fits the theme you're going for. So I just wanted to show you that I wanted those to look like a big pot of hydrangeas. Those are just my favorite flowers. So I did that. And then this stamp that I use for the books, this is by, let's see, Stampery, 1998. Y'all, this is so old. And it's Elisa Hinesley, and I love her designs. They're just very vintage and very versatile. To me, you can kind of tweak them and get a lot of different uses out of them. So this original one says Christmas carols, but I just masked over the center part of it where that is written, and went back again and used these words from this stamp set to put on the binding. So like this one says beautiful, and this one says friends, to kind of go with a different little use for that particular book or that particular stamp that's usually just for Christmas. And I stamped these on some patterned paper, and instead of gluing it flat, I kind of folded them up like a real book would be, and that way the card would have a little bit of a dimension to it. But my thought was, since she's fishing with her teddy bear and there's the little bobber, I wanted it to look like she was fishing for some old books and some old novels for a day at the lake. So I just thought that was a fun little twist to this particular stamp. And then I just used some ribbon and glued on, and a little bow, and some white gel ink for little dots on the card. So that was all that was in this, y'all. So it was two stamps, two main stamps, and then just this little word stamp. So y'all know that's my wheelhouse, is to not use a whole bunch of different things. So I wanted to show that one. And again, this heart was another one, a larger one from that Honeybee Scalloped Heart set. So that was that. Let's see. Move this over and we'll talk about this one. So this one says, let's see, I'll show y'all. It's two little dolls with her little old vintage bunny, and it says cute as a button. And I just layered some different old papers on this and some two little heart buttons, and it has a little button there. So I just love that. And then on the inside, I just used those scalloped hearts again. And then on the back, my little made especially for you stamp, and I will show y'all that one too. So that is what I used. Now here's the fun little twist for this stamp. this is an old Imaginations rubber stamp, and you can see her face had the button design and like more of the seed eyes. And I wanted these girls to have more of a Victorian look. So I masked over their faces when I inked them, and instead used some of the dolly faces from Peachy Keen for their faces. So don't be afraid to kind of change up some of your old wood rubber stamps if you just want to tweak them a little bit for a little different look. So I did do that on this particular stamp. The Cute as a Button stamp, let's see, is this one, and it is by Paper Salon. And it's just an old rubber stamp, wood rubber stamp. So I wanted to share that. And then, oh, for the thing on the back, y'all, I just love this because it's so vintage looking. It is a stamp from Red Lead Paperworks, and it came with two. It says an original buy, and it has an old vintage dress, and then this one has a little girl at the bottom that says made especially for you, and it's Red Lead Paperworks. So I love this. I think this is just a fun, very vintage look. I don't know, I just love that. So I wanted to mention that. So let me move this one, and then I'll get into the snowmen that I have stamped since we are February and in cold weather. So this one, and I have shared all these on the Saturday Morning Makes Facebook group that Jana does, the pictures, and so, but I just haven't done videos, and so I'm trying to kind of catch up in this video, and then I will go back to just doing like, you know, one project at a time per video. But I wanted to share this, and this snowman, the two snowmen from this is from a Peachy Keen set. It's PKSC 19, and it's these two little snowmen, the boy and the girl, that I used for that card. And part of it I paper pieced, and part of it I just used some alcohol marker on. And then I used the little sentiment that says, if kisses were snowflakes, I would send you a blizzard. And a little definition of love up here. And I think that is an old Impression Obsession stamp with a love definition on it. And I just used some old muslin and a little gold brassy heart locket. And on the inside. And then there again, there's the little Red Lead Paperworks design on the back. I just love her. So that is what I used for this, and just cut a bunch of different hearts out. I wanted her to have just a very vintage Victorian look. So that is what I was going for with these. And y'all know we all love the Peachy Keen faces. So I love that. Then this one is another one of the snowmen. I want to talk about this one next because there's a product I discovered a couple of months ago that's new to me. I don't know if it's new to the market, and a lot of y'all may have used it, but I haven't. And I'm just in love with it for snowmen, so I wanted to show that to y'all. This stamp, I just love this. Is so whimsical to me. It's a snow couple dancing, and it says, just remember you're the one thing I can't get enough of. And if any of y'all have ever seen the old, old movie from the 1980s, Dirty Dancing, this is a line from that. And so I just thought that was such a fun little play with this little snowman couple. And so I will show y'all the stamp set that came from also. It is a penny black stamp is the snow couple. And it is 3540H Snow Trot. I just thought these were so cute. So I stamped those, and I cut them out and just raised them on some foam dots to give them just a little bit of a dimension, like they were jumping off the page a little bit. But this, I'll show y'all this. This is by Colorado Craft Company, and I just love the stamp set. It has a bunch of the sayings from the old 1980s Dirty Dancing movie in it, like nobody puts baby in a corner, or I've had the time of my life. And that's where I got the you're the one thing I can't get enough of, just remember stamps from. And this is AJ661D Time of My Life by Colorado Craft Company. And I just think this is so cute. And it's got the 2 cats in it doing the lift scene from the movie. So I just love the whimsical nature of this particular stamp set. So that's what I used for this card. But I wanted to show y'all, do y'all see how these kind of have like a very metallic-y sort of glaze sort of to them? I found this product, and it's by Hero Arts. It's white pearl hero paste. And so after I stamp, I just take a little paintbrush and brush some of this on. And what I love about it is it's not very water-based, so it won't pucker your papers like if you try to use some of the metallic acrylic paints. And it doesn't take very long to dry. And so I love this product. It kind of textures. And so it kind of gives you that little swirl look. And it just looks so icy and snowy. And I just love that stuff. And I don't know if it's a new product to them or not. I just stumbled across it a couple of months ago, and I'm in love with it for the snowmen. So like on this one, it's not the glitter at the bottom, but it's the center. I just painted it around their faces and in their bodies a little bit. And you can see it just kind of gives a little bit of shimmery sparkle like snow does when a little bit of light hits the snow or moonlight. So I just love that. So I wanted to show y'all that product with these 2 cards. And let's see. The last one I wanted to show y'all was this little girl who is all snuggled in her little quilty bed with her teddy bear friend and her kitty cat that says, "Baby, it's cold outside." So I just love this. It's a lot of paper piecing and some just regular stamps. So I'll show y'all what I used for this. But I just thought this was so fun and a little kind of different twist on a snowman or a snow girl. She would rather stay snuggled up in her bed than be outside where it's cold. So that is this card that I used. And I have some extra pieces just kind of stuffed in here so I can show y'all. So it is this stamp, and it's an old woodblock stamp. It's by Darcies, and it is Z3270, and it's just an old quilted bed. And so I stamped it on some just white cardstock, and then I started just stamping, you know, just little pieces of it on just some scrap paper, some just different pattern papers like you actually would if you were going to make a quilt in real life out of fabric, and cutting them out. And I cut the little squares out and just glued them onto the cardstock. And you can see it's just like little squares after you stamp them, and I just glued them. So super easy. And then I cut a couple of extra pieces of this sheet, top layer sheet out, and I cut it, and I'm going to tell you why, because I wanted her to actually look like she was snuggled up in the covers. And so let's see, I cut a little bit different shade. I didn't want a white background because I wanted the snowman to show, so I used a little creamy, but I die cut a little girl snowman out, and I trimmed her off just a little bit, and then glued her down, and then glued the sheet part on top. That way it would look like she was actually tucked in the bed and give it a little bit of dimension. So I kind of wanted to show you that. It was just a little bit different twist on it, so it would make it look like it was kind of more like of a sleeping bag, or like, you know, she's actually tucked in. So I wanted to mention that. So for the snow girl, I used, let's see where that little stamp set is, or that little die is, y'all. It is a Spellbinders, I think. And I had it up here. What did I do with it? Oh goodness, y'all. It's just a little Spellbinders die, and I will link it in the description of this video. I mean, I don't know where it is because I had it on the desk, and now oh, there it is. Okay. It's this little die right here. It's the Dancing Snowman S3455 by Spellbinders. And I just used the body and the little hat. And layered like a little bow on and a little pom-pom for a little dimension. But I used that for the snow girl. And then for the little kitty cat, I used this little kitty cat die from My Creative Time. That's the Fairy Halloween's add-on, because it was a little stitched kitty cat. So I thought that kind of gave it a little vintage vibe. And then I just freehand alcohol markered some ink on it to try to give her a little bit of real life kitty cat look. So I used that. And then for the teddy bear, I used this old Rubber Stampede stamp. Let's see if it has a name. It's just Sweet Teddy 160B, I think. And I stamped it and colored it and slid it under as well for the teddy bear. And then I just tied a little bit of lace and ribbon in bows. And for the Baby It's Cold Outside, I used this. And this is a Spellbinders, and I don't have the plastic wrapper anymore because I've used it so much I've lost it. But this is a Spellbinder set that just has Baby It's Cold Outside in it. And that's what I used right there. But I also wanted to show y'all, I have a little roll of this, and it's like little felt heart or daisies. And one of my grandmothers always had like crocheted flowers on some of her quilts. And so I just trimmed these away from how they were attached and just glued those on to give the quilt a little bit of extra dimension and to make it look kind of a little more just old-timey. So I did that as well. So I wanted to mention that. I just thought that was fun. So that is the sweet little girl Valentine and cold pink snow girl. I think she kind of doubles. I kind of wanted her to be Valentine's and for the Love of Snowmen theme. So that is that. And I think that's all, y'all. I've been creating, but I haven't been able to film. We're remodeling one of the rooms upstairs in our house. And when I say we, I literally mean us. We don't hire anything out. And so that kind of got me bogged down working on a lot of that. And so while I was creating, I didn't necessarily come in and film always. But I wanted to kind of catch up and show y'all some of the stuff I had been working on. And I will see y'all in a couple of days. Thanks for watching.